Indonesia's digital economy is growing rapidly, its value increasing by 49% in 2021 compared to the previous year. However, the Indonesian government has said that the issue is that Indonesia needs more and more skilled workers to meet the needs of the digital industry. And to discuss more on Indonesia's digital talent pool and how to improve it, we are joined with Muriel Makarim, who is the head of brand marketing at Google Indonesia. Hi, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
All right, now, first of all, as we all know, Indonesia's digital economy is growing fast. The market demand and services in the country increasing every year. However, the Indonesian government said the biggest challenge is the number of digital talent or workers. Now, in your view, does Indonesia have the adequate number of digital workers to meet industry needs?
Yeah, that's a very good question. As we all know, the Indonesia's country overall internet economy has been growing at a really rapid pace. When we look at what was the value of it last year in 2021, it was estimated at 27 billion US dollar. This is a 50% year-on-year growth, especially now with COVID and then driven by the e-commerce growth. More people are going online, buying things online. We don't see this slowing down anytime soon. And then what we see even is actually by the year of 2025, it's expected to double, right, at 140 billion US dollar. Now, in order to meet that growth, because these are numbers that we haven't seen before, we realize that the biggest gap is talent. In order to support the growth of the industry, despite like the growing consumer, there needs to be talent to sustain the industry. And we know that by the year of 2030, it's expected that there will be a gap of 9 million people when it comes to digital talent. So how do we make sure that we can close that gap? And that's an incredible growth. It's about 600,000 per year annually, right? And seeing a lot of talented young people out there at Google, we realized that as an industry, we need to come in and support, along with government and other partners, with the right training and support, so we're able to meet the industry needs. So the gap is there, but I think what's encouraging is that we see industries now are starting to contribute to the ecosystem to make sure that we can meet that gap.
Right. So as you mentioned, there is a gap in talent, and as you mentioned as well, Indonesia needs 600,000 workers in the digital economy. That's a lot every year. But talking about the capability of Indonesia's talent, what is your assessment of the capability of Indonesia's digital talent? And from your point of view, what is the biggest issue or gap in knowledge and skill that you've noticed among Indonesians who want to learn digital skills?
Yeah, sometimes it's just access. Sometimes they know that they want it, that's what they need, but they don't know where to go. Where should I go to get all these information or new training modules to improve my skill? So the fact that with these type of programs now, a lot of it now has been adopted by Kampus Merdeka through the Ministry of Education, it really helps us reach more people, because through that program now we're able to partner with more universities nationwide, and we can spread the word.
So as you mentioned, access to these programs is key. Now, the government is making big efforts to improve Indonesia's digital talent pool through, as you mentioned, the Kampus Merdeka program, and one of which is Google's Banket program. It's part of this Kampus Merdeka program. So can you just tell us more about the Banket program, explain more about it? Is it free for people who want to join? What exactly is in the curriculum? And what is the overall aim or target from the Banket program?
Banket is designed to give opportunity to people in Indonesia, regardless of their background, where they're from, what they studied in university, or what gender they are, to be able to prepare themselves to enter the workforce. And the way Banket is designed, it's just not the tech skills, but it's also including soft skills. We also teach them English for professionals. So it's an end-to-end training program to better prepare them to start their work or start their own company, for example. And as of last year, so the second year of Bangkit, it was embedded as part of a Kampus Merdeka program where we started to focus on university students. This year, so Banket, we have 3,100 students that will participate. It started on Monday, last Monday, and it will go on till July. The program is quite intense, so it includes 900 hours of study, and they need to pick between 1 out of 3 learning paths. There's machine learning, which is our most popular module, and you can go on all the way till you get Google certified. There's mobile development for Android training, and there's also cloud computing. At the end of the training program, they get access to our Google certification system, which typically costs about $100 to $200 for free. And by passing that certification exam, then it kind of adds credibility to their resume. So that's more on the tech skill. On the soft skill, we know that in order to succeed, you need more than just knowledge, right, of the IT side. So we teach them how to interview properly. We teach them how to communicate in a professional way. We teach them critical thinking, time management. We teach them how to speak English, and we run now English courses that are run by native speakers, all free of charge. Because at the end of the day, we do want them to succeed and eventually join our career fair, which is only special for people who completed Bangkit. And last year we had 40 companies that joined and wanting to hire Bangkit talent. This year there's already 60 plus that's in the waiting list. So we're looking forward to even grow the program bigger.
Right. So just to reaffirm, is the program completely free? Is it open to the whole public, or is it only for university students?
It's only for university students, as long as they're an active student at a university that's already registered within the Ministry of Education, as long as they've completed semester 5 and above, and they haven't graduated at the end of the program. They don't have to come from an IT degree. They can come from any degree, and they can apply to the program.
Right, interesting. But I think there were 63,000 people who applied to the Banket program this year, but only 3,100 passed. It seems like the entry requirements are quite tight. Could you talk to us more about this?
Yeah, so there is a selection process that's quite strict. Not only we test their, entry programming skills, we test their math skills, we also test their English, because all the modules are run in English. So we want to make sure that they have some type of basic understanding of the language. And also, we have a mindset test, personality test to kind of check on their commitment to complete the program. As I mentioned before, it's a highly intensive program, and hence we understand for students, it's typically more like a full-time commitment. And so we will also work with Ministry of Education to make sure that this can be transferred into credits. So they're on top of Banket, they don't have other responsibility to take other classes during that term. And yeah, we want to make sure that people who come into the program are set up for success, because we know how tough it can be. And hence, last year, our graduation rate was more than 80%, just to show that, most of the people who come into Banket are serious and want to commit to completing the program.
But I just want to know, how many of Banket participants, after they graduate, how many of them got jobs straight away after conducting the program? Is there any kind of inspiring stories from graduates of Banket program?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. And let's say being involved in this program, the stories, the individual successes that we hear every day is what makes the program so meaningful and near and dear to our heart. So Banket graduates, as of last year, 44% of the people who completed the program were able to find jobs through our career fair. Why 44%? Because the rest are still in school, actually. So they'll go back to classes, completing their degree, or some choose to go to other internship programs. And out of the ones that were able to find jobs through Banket, almost 90% said that Banket helped them find that career, which was very nice to hear. In terms of the individual story, so there, if you watch our opening, you could see there was a student. Her name is Shifa Noraini. She's an undergraduate student who went on to study informatics engineering at Bakri University, and she joined the machine learning curriculum. Now, she really had a hard time during COVID, where she had to find another job being a Gojek driver. So she had to wake up at 5 a.m. every day, started like delivering food and everything, and then going to school during the day. She chose to join Banket, she completed it, and she got Google certified. And then she was able to find a job. She became an IT manager at a local company. And only recently, actually this morning, we saw her update on LinkedIn. She got a job at Orang Guru. So like it's those kind of stories that the individual story and how Banket has helped people transform their lives is what makes it so exciting.
Regarding the career fair, could you just talk to us more about that? How many companies are a part of that that are working together with the Banket program, and how many people from Banket get jobs from that career fair?
So on the career fair, last year we had more than 40 hiring companies there. It's a number that we want to continue to increase. This year we already have 60 plus companies who are already signed up, and they want to be part of the Banket hiring consortium. Now, from the number of people who joined the career fair and actually got jobs after the program, and based on the number of people who responded, it's about 44% who graduated from Banket. So almost 1,000.
Okay, great. Is it open to master students? Because I'm taking my master.
It's not. It's not open to master students right now.
Okay.
I know we get a lot of questions. Is it open for people who are still? I mean, I wish I was a college student now.
Okay, yeah. Right. I feel the same way. It's free.
Yeah, it's free.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about women in Indonesia's digital talent pool. Now, I read that 26% of the participants in Bangkit are women. That is still relatively low. What are some of the issues there?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Even from my side, I studied computer science in college. That was years back. I'm not going to tell you what year to reveal my age. But even back then in the US, it was less than 30%, a female who majored in computer science. And we do see that this is a global phenomenon. It's not just in Indonesia, right? Where how do we bring in more female and encourage them to participate in STEM, take IT courses. So we realize that it's a gap everywhere and that we play a big role. We can play a big role in addressing the gap. So we have a lot of programs, not just through Banket. We have Women Tech Makers program, where we always prioritize female in these programs. We have Women Will, which is a good example of boosting digital skills for women who want to start their own business. And at least small, one by one, for Banket, we're going to continue to do this. We're happy that our most popular module in Banket, which is machine learning, 40% of students choose machine learning as path. And in that class, it's 1 out of 3, 30%. So I think the challenge now is how do we continue to grow that number in the years to come as Banket continues to scale up?
Is there an issue with access or perhaps maybe discrimination or something at that point? Or is it just a matter of, say, a lack of interest? Or what is kind of the issue that you see for women and their challenges in entering sort of the digital economy and services in this industry?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we're also trying to better understand, to be honest. I think what we're trying to do for this year to make sure that our following numbers will still keep up is that penetrating deeper into the community, penetrating deeper into the universities, speaking to female students, joining the female clubs to better understand what is the hindrance. Because once we know what the real challenge is, then we can tackle it one by one.
And I want to talk to you about the graduates as well. I think previously you mentioned last year, 80% of them had passed the test and got the Banket certification. So what about the remaining 20%? What were kind of the issues preventing them from passing? And does this kind of show some problems in knowledge or skill gaps among Indonesian students, especially in digital skills?
So maybe just for context, the exam is not mandatory. 80% completed the program, right? The rest of the 200 people who didn't complete the program last year was mostly due to personal reasons and other commitments. And we know that it was a tough time for everyone last year. So now out of the 80% who completed, 70% passed the test and got the exam. But because it's a nice bonus, the access to the certification, that's free. It typically costs a couple $100. We're quite happy to see almost 70% actually wanted to do it. Yeah, and the exam itself, actually to get certified in Android, to get certified in TensorFlow or machine learning. These exams are industry standard, so it's globally recognized, and it's designed for professionals. It's actually not designed for students, so it's designed for people who are ready to take a career there. That's why we don't see, maybe not everyone, has the intention to do it. But what's also amazing to see is that the growth globally in terms of number of certified Android certification, certified for machine learning, the biggest growth in the world came from Indonesia through Banket.
Okay. So, I mean, if you kind of compare it with digital talent around the world, does Indonesia kind of measure up right there?
Yeah, I mean, in Indonesia, we have, in terms of talent, we do have a demographic bonus. As the fourth largest country in the world, we have significantly higher number of people that's off the working age population, right? Almost 70% of the population. So this is such a big pool of talent. Now the challenge is that how do we make sure this great potential can be turned into high quality digital talent? And I think that's something that it's still a process.
Right, and you said it is a process. Now, as we mentioned earlier as well, the Indonesian government says that Indonesia needs 600,000 new digital talents every year, or around 9 million by 2035, if I'm not wrong.
2030, yeah.
2030, right, by 2030. Now, are we still far away from that target? Are you optimistic that we can meet that target every year?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to predict, but considering where things are, considering where the growth of the need is there, looking at the increase in involvement of industry, because it is not a problem that can only be solved by the government. We need to go hand in hand with people who are actually employing these talents, people who actually need these talents too, right? So, and just speaking to our partners, we know there's a collective effort to kind of even be more involved, even through the One Simple Banket program. We're already getting more companies who are coming to us and say, how can we participate? How can we be part of the core team to make sure we grow the program bigger? So I would say I'm going to be more on the optimistic side because 2030 is still more than 5 years to go. I think we can definitely try to get there and meet that target.
Okay, as you said, you're still optimistic, and there's still a lot of room to grow. As you said, Indonesia has a large population of working age group, so we are getting there, and we have lots of programs to get there as well from the government and from the private side as well. All right. So, Muriel Makarim, thank you so much for joining us and giving us your insights and so forth. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you so much for having me.